Greetings, everyone. I am Selvalis, and welcome to another episode of ARK Survival Evolved on the Stegoland server. So I need to start off this episode very quickly stating that my microphone had a malfunction during the recording of this and the next episode, so I am doing a dub over the footage after it's all recorded. So this is not my live reactions. I already know what's going to happen. And yeah, so to start things off, today will be a taming video, and I didn't even leave my mountain, and I had found a, wait for it, because it ran off a cliff like an idiot, a 150 male Rex. So, gonna start today off by taming a male Rex. Damn, I'm trying to maximize the view of my video so I can remember what I did. It's been a few hours. I did not, unfortunately, discover this glitch until after I was recording and just getting ready to piece together all the footage and upload it. So yeah, always remember to thoroughly check your recording setup before you begin. Alright, so yeah, 150 male Rex, and we're gonna tame it. How are we gonna tame it, you ask? Why am I not taming it? I honestly can't remember half the stuff I talked about today, so gonna be honest, I'm kind of making this up as I go. Alright, so I guess we're gonna stare at it at some point. Come on, get to the taming, me. Oh, right, I forgot. I cut to the end of the tame because I was watching a friend stream. Yeah, that was pretty much my afternoon. I had a little trouble with the Quetzal being derpy, so I ended up just grappling to a rock instead of the Quetzal. But yeah, that's pretty much how I do any tame in the foreseeable future that's not just sticking a pen and shoot, is I will grapple onto something nearby, pin it to a cliff, and unload. So, gamming up. So yeah, I found it actually when I was going out to get meat, like to tame, because I had no prime left. It all spoiled. I hadn't been out hunting or gathering food in a few days. And whoops, that was a 145. Ah, I remember now. So, the reason I'm doing taming today is I want to go after one of the bosses. Specifically, the Broodmother. It was about halfway through the episode I had decided I'm going to take on the Broodmother. So, yeah. We're going after the Broodmother, and I'm setting up a specific army of dinosaurs. Now, the ironic thing is, that Rex is not going to be part of the army. Well, its children might, but Rexes were not what I was looking for this anti-boss army. You can only fit a couple Rexes on the platform to take on a boss, so I find them rather inefficient with damage and health per cubic volume, to be all fancy and scientific. So what I'm actually going to be looking for is a set of medium and small dinosaurs and a Paraceratherium. Now, the reason I want a Paraceratherium is I believe they can travel through the portal. It said any dino up to the size of a Rex, and I feel like a Paraceratherium is about Rex-sized. So I'm going to get a Paraceratherium, and I'm going to put a platform saddle on it, and I'm going to put a missile turret on it. I feel like that'll be the best thing I personally can do during a boss battle. Now, the Paraceratherium itself would just be standing still, and I just have it on passive, and I would train it to and just pump nothing but health so that it could tank, and keep me safe to get off as many shots per second as I can. Okay, so still just looking for meat here. Alright, so during this video, and I think I've actually cut it out to save time, but at one point I went and tried to tame a 145 woolly rhino, because I was thinking, you know what, woolly rhinos would be really good ways to start the battle. They'll charge in, they will get that really strong first hit in, they'll do a lot of damage, and they're really tanky too. Unfortunately for me, I looked up the taming requirements of a woolly rhino after I brought it back, and I realized that if I didn't use kibble, I was going to lose a ton of levels. Herbivores are just brutal to tame without kibble. With a berry, if I just use Medjos, I was looking at loss of potentially 25 to 30 levels. With crops, I was going to lose like 10 to 15 levels. It was just bad. Kibble, of course, I wouldn't lose anything, no. Unfortunately, I ended up just letting that woolly rhino go in my backyard. So, you know, it could still be around there. I have not tamed any terror birds yet, but I'm thinking about picking up a couple just so I can start, passively collecting eggs for kibble. Okay, so I've got some prime on the Rex. By prime taming the Rex, I'm only going to lose 1 level, which to me is completely acceptable because it's just a breeding Rex, and in the end, it ended up being a pretty good Rex. Like, I'm fine with just losing a little bit of time. So, I'm going to time skip right now, and I need to explain what I was doing during this time skip. So, about the same time I choose to record, one of my best friends, IRL, likes to stream with her about her Pokemon shiny hunting. And so I was watching that stream for a while, and let me tell you, we were on day 3 of her hunting for a shiny Bulbasaur, and I'm getting real sick of seeing regular Bulbasaurs. I never thought I would say that. So that's what I was kind of doing while I was waiting. And so time skips okay, a few more seconds on the time skip. I forgot I can see the timeline of the video, so I know I should probably have paid more attention to that. But yeah. So that's kind of how my mornings have been going. I get my coffee, I take a shower to clear out my nose, and then I try and get to recording so that way I have my evenings to do what I want for fun. Okay, so we have tamed the Rex. I wasn't paying attention during that last bite, so I ended up missing the actual tame. Tagged the Rex, and I ended up naming it Bulbasaur. After all the failed Bulbasaurs, my friend was unable to hatch. She was doing the Masuda shiny method, which is basically you take a foreign Pokemon, which is a Pokemon that was caught not in your continent. They actually do track like what continent a Pokemon is on. It can be like it's North American, European, and Asian, basically. So if you trade and get, the Pokemon you want from another country, and then you add it to your Pokedex, and then you quickly breed them together, it increases your chances of shinies, and then you just run around, hatch eggs in batches of 5. Alright, so I got Bulbasaur back home to my incomplete barn, and now I'm comparing stats with Supreme. If you pay attention, you'll notice that Supreme has higher health, but Bulbasaur has higher stamina, food, and Topor. I had to go back and double check. Supreme has definitely the better melee, though, which is to be expected. She is a much better than perfect, but I determined that it would definitely be worth breeding Bulbasaur into Supreme's bloodline in order to gain a stronger Rex. Also, I have quite the colorful menagerie of Rexes. I personally hate the look of a white Rex. I think it's just kind of stupid. Here I was showing off the fact that there's still no roof on the barn. That's just because I was doing so much building for the last couple days. I just could not bring myself to to do more building. I think tonight, while these videos are uploading, I will go finish it, just because when I'm in a situation like that, holy crap. Alright, so at this point I wanted to quickly point out, Leech Bullet has a spoil timer, so keep that in mind. Okay, here I was going out to start hunting for more, dinosaurs. I had already done the Woolly Rhino and let it go, so I came to the volcano to look for big tames, and I found a water drop on the volcano, which is really nice, because then I don't have to go underwater and risk dying in order to get the drops. Deep Sea Loot Crates, as they're officially called, are the best sources of loot in the game, bar none. They're even better than the special caves. So, the reason I'm at the volcano is I'm looking at sabers, carnos, and raptors. Those are going to be kind of the meat of my army. And in no time, I went and found I believe this is a 145 female raptor. Yeah, that was the 145 female. So I'm just going to take it home and tame it up. The reason I'm going for those specific dinosaurs, and that's not all I'm going for, but I played a Survival of the Fittest game a couple days ago where I wrecked everybody with a Carno. I got lucky, it was a really high-level Carno. It beat the crap out of everybody. Just quickly checking the levels of the Spinos. I'm looking for a really high-level Spino for the water drops. Like, I want to breed a super one to go underwater and help me with the water drops. So, I gained a very powerful respect for Carnos that day because I beat Spinos and Rexes with one. I know it was trained really well, so, you know, it wasn't exactly a fair fight, but it was still the fact that I was able to defeat such powerful foes. Okay, so gonna tame up the raptor right now. As you know, I have the door features on my taming ken because most dinos can't fit through it. So it also makes taming... Man, I'm still mad about that shot. Okay, let's try that again. Boom. Headshot. And some of you here, I accidentally left Facebook open, so I fixed that between shots. But, you know, funny mistakes sometimes happen. I'm still getting kind of new to this. Alright, so this raptor was a wily one. It took several several tries to get in the taming pen. It kept jumping out. Also, it's taking a while to trank. This was a difficult trank, especially with just my aim's not really on it today. And... What? What? What the... Ugh! I can't believe that just happened. Okay, so we're back. I got the raptor. I honest to God didn't realize that they don't fit through, or they can fit through doors, so it was actually just one shot away from falling unconscious, and I think it would have been really funny if it had actually ended up, just being knocked out right outside the taming pen. But yeah, I could not believe it when that happened. I was just speechless. I tried to recreate it for you guys, but it's one of those moments where you just had to do it live. You can't really recreate it. And I mean, it was just ridiculous. I have done this before with other raptors and they never got out, but just, he ran right past me and right off a cliff, and at the bottom of that cliff is Chicken Bone the Giga. So I got lucky, and that raptor was still about halfway down the cliff because it's kind of plateauy. So I got really lucky, because if that raptor had gone all the way down, it would have been lunch meat for Chicken Bone the Giga. So, yeah, that was quite the interesting raptor tame. Wow, did I throw Prime on that? I think I threw Prime on that. I don't seem to be going down to kill anything. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm just heading back at this point to the Volcano Island to keep searching, because I want a lot of tames to... Oh, lightning! You know, I want to get a lot of tames. This is the beginning of the army for me. This is what it's gonna take. This is gonna be the beginning of the army. So, I'm looking at my, my little sound waves that are being recorded from this, because right now I've just got like one tiny corner is the video, and then I've got all my software editing it right now, and I'm not seeing any sound bars, so I'm actually gonna pause this voiceover just to play back and make sure it's recording, because if I go through 2 episodes of it, like 2 episodes worth of time of it just not recording, I'm just scrapping this whole. And we're back on the volcano, and I grabbed a Sabertooth. I honestly can't remember if it was 145 or 150. I didn't go back, but I did double check, and my voiceover is recording. It doesn't actually pop up the little sound bars until after it's done, which is a little confusing, because it looks to me as if it's not actually recording, and, you know, it's kind of freaking me out, because I already don't like dubbing over what I've already done. I prefer to give you guys my in-the-moment reactions. Like, again, that raptor. I'm really mad, because that was one of those priceless moments, in my opinion, of ARK, where just ARK is being ARK, and I just think it's really awesome. So we're going to try and get the Saber into the community center taming pen without any issues, and for once we succeed. No destruction to the guy-on-guy frat house today. There's been multiple instances where people have tried to drop stuff in this box, and they've gotten out, and they always go and attack the frat house. So, yeah, that thing needs some repairs. Spalding, get on it. Okay, so, like I said, with pretty much any tame, I'm just going to strap myself up, and... Okay, so it was a 145 Saber. Yeah, I'm just going to strap myself to a wall or a cliff, and I'm just going to, you know, let it have it. So this didn't take very long to knock out, so I'm just going to go through it all. And this is kind of the one part I'm glad I'm voicing over later instead of in the moment because I got a little distracted from those Facebook messages and kind of ranted on politics, and I'm actually really glad I get to redo that because it's kind of early career suicide if you get political. All I'm gonna say is, please vote. Just whatever you do, don't abstain. To my European voters, or not voters, to my European viewers, I'm sorry for the shit show that American politics has been. Alright, so taking down this saber. Now, some of you might be wondering why I want a saber for boss battles. Sabers aren't the strongest attacker of their size class. Raptors aren't either. The reasoning has to do with my available saddle blueprints. I have a Mastercraft saber saddle blueprint and a very powerful Journeyman saddle blueprint, Journeyman Raptor saddle blueprint, which is just makes them so much more survivable. It's ridiculous the difference it makes. Like, if I went and took that saber, stuck a Mastercraft saddle on it, as is, no training, nothing, just its levels, and I sent it against a wild Giga, it could probably take 1 or 2 hits before it would die, versus if it went in without that saddle, it's dead in 1 shot. Like, it makes a huge damage reduction difference. So, yeah, at this point, I'm just gonna tame up the saber. Man, I'm doing it. I'm shooting myself in the foot right now, just talking. I'm trying to remember if I went and... Right, no. This'll be my last tame of the video. What ends up happening next is actually a bit of a detour, but also very important for forming the army. Oh, hey, Fly. Welcome to the craziness of the server. I think Siren appears in the next video. So, yeah, the whole army. What did I say? I said Carnos because Carnos are very strong. Also, every dino I take into that battle is going to be a trained dino. It's not just going to be, oh, I bred a super dino and I stuck a saddle on it, because even a bred super dino is worthless without training. They're still just marginally more powerful than wild. So I'm going to have to spend a lot of time training each individual dinosaur to get its powers up to something that I think could take on the Broodmother. Now, dinos like raptors and sabers, their job will actually be to handle shit like the little Arenios or dropped Gigantopithecus. That's what those will be for. I am going to end up, like, my current battle plan is stand on top of the Paraceratherium, just get my spyglass out, whistle attack target on the Broodmother or whatever it is, mount the Paraceratherium, and put it back on passive so it doesn't, you know, get involved. Or even better if I actually have someone come with me riding the Paraceratherium. Okay, so the Raptor tamed up, and just kind of looking at its stats, I put a Mastercraft Raptor saddle on it. I have a spare one, gift of Jennifer, who is not very interested in having raptors. And at this point, I noticed that I did have a male raptor. I thought both of mine were female 150s, but this one is actually a male. So as soon as the saber's done taming, I'm actually going to go and breed the raptors in order to make some super raptors, to kind of get started on that army. See what's the best bloodline. Because my ideal situation is I'm going to have a pair of 250-ish raptors that can just guaranteed give me raptors that are above 250, or 250 or above, and I'm just going to mass breed those over the course of a week or so to get a bunch of eggs. Like, that's the battle plan for raptor eggs. So as for the battle plan, again, it's whistle attack target. I'll ride the Paraceratherium and shoot rockets. Raptors and sabers are for more like dealing with the, like, again, the trash, so to speak, or the ads of the boss fight. And then I want Carnos to be kind of a nice medium level, but not too tanky, but high damage dinosaur. Okay, so a few seconds left on the saber. And I'm also, now this is gonna probably be the hardest part to get. I want a bunch of dire bears. Oh, I also wanted a pair of rhinos to kind of lead the attack. But I'm not counting on them to actually last too long. I'm counting on them for a big, strong opening hit. So, yeah, I want dire bears, because dire bears hit hard, but they are also very tanky. I'm also considering some battle beavers. As you've seen from the last couple videos where my beaver Lily ended up in combat, I haven't pumped too much melee on her, but she wrecked the swamp, man. Like, Just annihilated Sarcos, Titan Boas, everything left and right. So I'm thinking a couple beavers thrown in might not be a bad idea for some squishy high damage. But bears. Dire bears are like perfect battle creatures. They're really high health. Oh, Saber is tamed. So this Saber is just going to be for the breeding program. So yeah, but bears, they're really high health and they're really high damage. So they've got really good survivability and they pack just as much punch as they can take. So I think those would kind of be the big heavy hitters combined with the rocket launching turret. I feel like the turret would be safe to use in a boss battle, because I had considered, what if I blow up my own dinos, but most of the bosses are just, they're so tall, I can blow their heads up without having to worry about killing anything on the ground. Alright, and we're done breeding the raptors in a second. I'm going to get a couple eggs out of this, and we're going to begin the raptor breeding program. Now, getting the raptors to breed is something I am very good at. Back on the Destroyers server, Drax's Patreon server, former Patreon server, I had a raptor army. Like, I think I had 50 raptors at my peak before I had a massive culling. And a lot of it actually happened because of the Valentine's Day event. So, during the Valentine's Day event, taming and breeding timers were just tiny. Like, you could tame something almost instantly, and that's not even with the, that's not even including the special item that would just insta-tame anything. I believe it had a chance of dropping in addition to a bred egg. But yeah, like, breeding timers and growth timers were just tiny, so I ended up actually leaving a bunch of raptors in my taming pen, and I just left them on wander to make eggs. What I didn't know is that because of the ridiculous breeding timers and just the location of my breeding pen being in a very strange environment, it was perfect for raptors to incubate and hatch. So after I forgot about those raptors on wander and I left it overnight, by the time the event was over, I had about 30 raptors of varying levels within that taming pen. So I went in and fished out the good ones, and then I just kind of let the rest of them go. But it ended up being a breeding method for me. Okay, so we're about to hatch the baby raptors. This is the one with both two 150 raptors. It came out at, I believe, 233, which is a nice, strong level. And then the other one was the new 145 raptor, which actually had a higher melee stat than either of the 150s. I believe I've said it before, but dinosaurs that are from the second highest level, so 145 or 116, I believe those dinosaurs have the higher chance of giving a hyper stat, so just something really ridiculously high than max levels. I believe max level dinosaurs tend to distribute their points in a more balanced manner versus like the 145, which gave me a ridiculously strong melee stat, which the kid did get. Okay, everyone, so that about wraps up the episode. Just gonna finish dealing with these babies. Just gonna get them all situated. Gotta get a little bit more meat on them, but not too much. I bred a lot of raptors, and it's about 45 meat, roughly, to get them to juvenile. So it's not bad at all. And then with this stacking mod, it's, it's not a problem. These raptors, they were grown up by the time I got back from my second video, which I'm gonna film like right after this. I'm like taking a 5-minute break between episodes. I'm really trying right now to kind of build up a buffer of episodes so that I don't have to record any Stegoland over the weekends. Because the weekends is when everyone wants to do survival of the fittest, so I want to, play that with my friends. So, want to thank you all for watching. Again, my name is Selvalis. This is the Stegoland server. I hope you enjoy this video as much as I enjoy making it. And until next time, farewell.